So thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Jeff Gladnick. I'm the founder of Great Dental Websites. And today I'm going to just be giving you guys a quick demo of our platform, going over a couple of the recent features that we've added, sharing some of the plans for the future, just stuff like that. So the first thing I've done here is I've logged into one of our client sites. This is actually a copy of one of our client sites. And let me make sure I can see the chat thing in case there are any questions that pop up here. Keep this open over here. If you guys want to ask me questions at any time, just type them right in the chat and I'll answer them. And so the first thing I want to do is kind of give you a very brief overview of the purpose of why we made this platform. A lot of other companies will use WordPress or some off-the-shelf content management system, but we didn't feel that that was going to be adequate for what we wanted to achieve for our clients. And what we want to achieve is that this is the last dental website you'll ever have to do. And that seems like a bold statement because, you know, who knows what's going to happen in 5, 10, 20 years. Mobile kind of surprised everybody 5, 10 years ago when it came out. Nobody had a mobile website 10 years ago, but now it's a requirement. So how can we know what's in the future? Well, essentially what all our customers have signed up for is dental websites as a service, where every month we're going in and making changes, improvements, speed, SEO tweaks under the hood to try to update the website to the newest standard. We do this constantly and it never stops. And so we actually can make a future-proof solution because we have an engineering team here in Denver that works on this every month and pushes out updates twice a month. So with that said, let's start going into this. The whole point is we wanted our clients to be able to make changes and edits quickly and easily because that costs us less in customer service support because we do offer free unlimited support and training. So if we have to teach you all the time or help you get the content there, it costs more money. And we also want you to have instantaneous gratification. So let's pretend that, you know, I'm Dr. Pagonis and business is going well. We've decided to hire a new employee. So we would go to the our team section. It'll load up here. There's Dr. Pagonis. And let's pretend we have to add a new staff. So right over here, if you've hired any kind of staff member, this is where you would do it. So we'll click Add New Staff. And we'll put in this person's name. I'm going to use my little brother, who's a dentist out in Maryland. I know you're not supposed to type doctor in DDS, but we're going to do that for the time being. And let's just pretend he's an orthodontist. This kind of gives you a rough preview of how this thing's going to look. We'll give him a made-up bio of Laura Mipsum here. And then we'll give him a headshot, too. It's usually important to have a headshot. That's an actual picture of my brother. And we'll hit Submit. And then we hit OK. It'll ask us to crop it, so we just want to move the selection. If we want it to be a little bigger, we can do that too. You can change the shape of this. So this would allow you to change the resolution, I guess, of this image, but you generally want to keep it the way that the software recommends, just so it's nice and consistent everywhere. So once we've saved it, there's a couple things that's going on. One is it's resizing the image. Two, it's optimizing it for the web. It's also embedding a lot of fun EXIF data in there. So here we have our orthodontist bio, and if we go back to our team, we'll see him come up here. There he is. And if we want to sort the staff and say, oh, he's actually not as important, let's move him down below Dawn. Whenever we go back, he's going to be, his position will be changed. So now there's Dawn and there's our orthodontist. That would be a little weird, but that's okay. If you run any of these images through an EXIF viewer, which Google does use to determine local image search, you get all sorts of interesting data. This is Dr. Pagonis's office, their website, their URL, at least the fake ones, generated phone number, latitude, longitude. All these things factor in a minor way to local search. And we just embed these things in the images by default. Every single image uploaded through the software platform works this way. So let's keep going. Let's pretend that we just added this orthodontist, so maybe it's time to add some orthodontic procedures. So let's head over to the services, and we'll add a new service. And in this case, let's do Invisalign, and just put in some more fake content in here. blah, blah. Usually you want about 500 words. Our software will do the word count for you. Google says they want 500. 400 or 500 should be okay because there's other words on the page. Now, if we want to get advanced, we can customize everything about this landing page. And these little arrows and highlights tell you exactly what we want to do. Or we can just leave it as the default, which is what I'm going to do right now. But all of this can be customized, but we'll just leave it for the default. We can customize it later if you guys are curious. Okay, so we've created a new landing page for Invisalign. It's pulled this guy as a default. It's given us some, just generic copy that can be customized if we want to. There's a call to action here. By the way, this is very subtle, but at one point I remember somebody in engineering figured out that if you add a little bit of movement to the arrow, it improves the conversion rates by a couple percent. There's this very slight movement there, just enough to draw the eye, but not enough to really notice it unless somebody points it out. Here's some text. It's pretty boring. Ideally, we would want to embed some pictures in here. And we have the doctor, but this isn't the right doctor. We're pulling in some testimonials. So it's not bad for just kind of, winging it and pulling it from the default, but we can make this better. So let's also assume that as part of, because we just hired this orthodontist, let's go make sure he's associated with this new service that's specifically about orthodontics. So when you jump into the edit the staff member, there's a little feature here that says associate the staff member with services. So let's deselect all and then pick Invisalign. And this way, this makes more sense. He's the orthodontist. We want him to come up when we're looking at Invisalign because he's the guy who's going to be doing it, not the primary general dentist. And then when we go back to our services section, scroll down to the Meet the Doctor, we have the right doctor coming up. And so we didn't have to go to this section to fix it. It'll fix it for us when we just make that little change. But let's fill in this content. Let's make it a little more meatier. So let's pretend they've gotten through their first orthodontic case. So just like adding staff member, we'll go to Smile Gallery and hit Add New Item. In this case, we want to fill it out. So great smile transformation in only 6 months. Give it a nice friendly. And this is where we would type in, well, this person was unhappy with their smile, but they didn't have a lot of time. They came to Dr. Gladnick to get Invisalign. We want to kind of share a story here. And in this case, we're going to pick the new service that we just created, Invisalign. That's all we really need to do. And it'll figure out the rest for us. So let's pick our before and after case. So here's the before. This is probably not an Invisalign case. Looks a bit more drastic than that. Here's the after. And then if we want to add more images, like portrait style images or like a headshot, we can click that here. Make sure you have a release from your clients, by the way, if you're adding full portraits. You may even need them it's not a bad idea to get them for everything and just explain that you're going to be putting these on your website just to be on the safe side. But if you're doing a portrait, you definitely need it. Oh, I think I picked the wrong one. Well, we'll just do the same one twice. Here, let's pick a before layout. There's the before face and an after face. And I think I have to hit allow smaller images. I think these images are a little too small. It's going to go through the exact same dialogue that we looked at before, where it's uploading that content. Sometimes it takes a minute if you've used a really high resolution image on the DSLR or a fancy camera. Same thing here, we'll crop. In this case, looks good the way it is. It's embedding that EXIF data in there, resizing the image, optimizing it for the web. Same thing here, save. Come on, buddy, there we go. Same thing, save. Just pretend that's two different before and after images. If you took two different angles or maybe like a side shot, some clients will do that. And then we should have the headshots come up. Here we go. Looks good to me. And then there's our after, and let's hit save. So there you go. That wasn't too painful. We've just added a new before and after case. And pretend this is the side view. If you're a patient looking at this, we got a good explanation of what drove this patient to consider Invisalign, more information about the related service if we want to learn about that, even a full headshot on here, it's useful. And we're pulling in testimonials too, but again, this can be better. So let's see how this has affected our Invisalign landing page. So voila, we have this, this page is starting to get filled out with more interesting content. And the whole idea is we don't mean you have to go to every page where this content's relevant and select it. Just by clicking that box, Invisalign, when we upload the before and after case, it tells our software everywhere we need to incorporate a before and after series of images that might help convert a patient. Let's pull in that content there. So this happens automatically, and this page is rebuilt on the fly every time you add more content. And we're going to do that again. Let's go into the testimonials, and let's bring let me get a video off YouTube real quick to use. So here we go. So, and same thing as before, under testimonials, add new testimonials. The feature that we're looking for is always the one highlighted by default on the left. In this case, we're going to add a video testimonial. Since it's on YouTube, the software can just slurp this down automatically. We have our little preview here. We can put in some information. And again, critically, we want to select dental implants. And then hit save. It'll save that content. Great. We have our testimonial right at the top of the patient testimonials. If we didn't want to have it there, we can sort the testimonials. We can move that down a little bit. Let's put it down at the bottom. Go back to the testimonials. And now it's all the way up. If we load more, down here. And more importantly, we go back to our Invisalign page. Remember, we tag that as an Invisalign testimonial. Oh, I must have missed it. Let's go back and edit. Chevrolet Services. Oh, I picked dental implants. Whoops, let's pick Invisalign. Hit save. All right. And now this page will be rebuilt on the fly. And now we have a relevant patient testimonial video about Invisalign. So we have a before and after case, an Invisalign video. And even better, when we go to that smile gallery image, we look at this. What do we have at the bottom? Another testimonial video. So this page has been rebuilt too. And if I can just belabor the point, every time you're adding related content, every page that would have related content is rebuilt. So we don't know, oftentimes it's tempting to think of dental patients just clicking on the home page, reading about the dentist, maybe looking at a before and after case, and then clicking contact and calling the office. But it's not really the way we see patients come into the website. They put in random things in Google and land who knows where. Wherever they land, we want to give them enough relevant information so they can feel confident to take that next step to contact the office. And all those images, by the way, the same thing applies for local searches. If you do dental implants in Darwin, New South Wales, and we look for the images, one of our clients, Castorina Square Dental, comes up. You put this image through the EXIF reader, it's pulling out a lot of relevant information about where this practice is, the keywords, latitude, longitude, dates. There's a lot of information that we insert or update in those images. Little things like that help. And then while we're at it, let's add some blog posts. So we have a blog, a couple different posts in here now. Let's add a new one. So how about welcoming our newest orthodontist? And most importantly, we want to make sure we let it know that this is about Invisalign. If we have a picture, this might make sense to get the headshot in here. And give it some text down here. Don't mind my fat finger. Hit save. We can schedule the post if we want to publish it in the future too, but I'm just going to throw it up there now so we can use it. In this case, it's going to want us to crop it at this specific thing. Again, we can change the shape, but you start to have these weird images. I would recommend you just keep the default shape that we create for you, just so everything looks consistent. It's going to crop that image, embed the EXIF data, optimize for the web, and we've got a new blog post. And now if we go to our blog, see that at the top. And if we go to our services, you can probably guess what's going to happen. Well, hey, now we got a blog post. And so that's it. And so we've gone from not having a landing page to having a pretty thorough page, assuming this was actual content, with a lot of meat on it, a lot of things that would potentially impress a patient, answering a lot of questions for them. FAQs works exactly the same way, and it all just ends up here as you type it in. You don't have to think about how you want to reorient the page. Just enter in the content and dump it in your website and let the software take care of it for you. While I'm at it, the blog post was, or the blog was one of the sections that we overhauled recently and added some new options. So this was kind of the old way we had done it, or one of the options. We can change the site settings though for this page. So we can change the blog layout from module to cart. We'll just hit save. Now if we get rid of this and we go back to the blog, well, now we have these new cards. Some clients prefer this style. You can click in here and read more, and it'll get you right back to where we were. That was just a new feature that I think was added in the last couple weeks or months. And all the new features will pop up here. This will show up in red if you haven't logged in a while and there's been new features added. And if you click it, it'll go to our website and show you the most recent new features that have been added. So every time you check in, take a look if this is red with a red background, give it a look. Some other stuff I wanted to share with you guys. We recently completed a transition to Amazon Web Services. So everybody's web service or website should be performing way faster now than previously. It's distributed across multiple servers in the US and Australia. So that you should notice a much snappier response time. When we put these things through Google PageSpeed, I know the desktop scores for my dad's practice went from like 46 to like 94. So substantial increase in speed, which does help SEO. Next year, we're planning on a complete overhaul of the mobile site. So I don't know how well this will work with this menu logged in, but you probably have noticed that your website has this kind of mobile mode. This is kind of a crude approximation in Google Chrome. But we're planning on completely overhauling the way that our sites respond in mobile. That's going to be started, I think, the first quarter of next year. And also the FAQs are due for a complete overhaul. So are they up here right now? Yeah, they are. So the FAQs they get the job done. It's just kind of a boring list. You click in, there's your answer. It'll show you related ones if you have it, and these things will appear in your landing pages, but it's not very sexy. We're going to overhaul this. I think that's Q1 or Q2 as well. And so that's a very quick demo. Almost everything on the site works the same way. If we want to add a new form, we just click on Forms, Add New Form, fill out the information, upload our PDF, or if we're using online forms, just fill it in. We integrate with every online form software that's out there. You just pop in the URL, it's a piece of cake. Everything really works the same way. So at this point, I'll keep this quick and see if we have any questions. Is there anything that you guys wanted me to demonstrate or have questions about doing, or any difficulty, or any other new features that you would like me to create, or our team to create, I should say? They won't let me do much programming anymore. Any feedback for me to take back to the engineering team? Please, if you have a question, just enter it in the chat, and I'll see it here. I'm looking now. Otherwise, we'll cut this short since it's the holidays. I know you guys are busy. Everybody trying to get their insurance benefits in before the end of the year. I like the new features. I had one question. Can I change some formatting things on my site? Probably, Namal, but can you be more specific? Which things did you want to change the formatting of? See if I can bring up your site here. So what were we looking to change? Oh, by the way, I should mention this. Nirmal has enabled the accessible version on his site, this little handicap thing. Everybody should do that. There's an ADA tax credit. Tax credit, where is it? Here it is. Just type in ADA tax credit, and the first thing that comes up gives you the details. If your total revenue was $1 million or less, or you had 30 or fewer employees, yes, tax credit. You're right. I'm right there with you. And most of our clients apply for this because of either the revenue or the employees. 50% of the eligible expenditures in a year. So if you've built this website with us this year, I think the setup cost, the copywriting, maybe even the graphic design half of that can be a credit, not a deduction, a credit. And all of the hosting costs forever. I know we have some clients that are prepaying for multiple years in advance this year to stuff all the credit for this tax year, and then they kick the can down the road. But because this is there, it applies for this tax credit. So at least 50% of your website platform costs you get back as a credit. So make sure you bring that up to your accountant. Send them this information. I think we sent an email about that. So Nirmal, what were you looking to change or reformat on the site? I could, if you want to, I can unmute you if that's easier. I did custom design. I like the newer site you just did. Okay, so it's we do have clients that will update their design from time to time, and I'll give you a quick. Let's do this live. So this was a custom site too. So if we wanted, let's pretend that they were ready to change their theme, and there's a couple options. If we wanted to redo a new custom design, I made a mistake by putting my logo static on all pages. Well, if that's the only change you want to make, contact the dev team. It might be a lot cheaper just to make a small adjustment to your site. But if we wanted to do, let's pretend we wanted to throw it out and do a completely new design. I kind of like your design, to be honest. I like your logo. It's all you do is we pick a new theme, and this can be either a pre-built one like this. Let's just pretend this is what we want. Looks good. Let's activate it. You won't have to rebuild your site. It'll just be applied to everything here. So we can still go to this Invisalign page, and it looks a little different, but the structure's changed slightly in the colors and pictures. But all that content, all that work we just did, it's all there. We don't have to start over. We don't have to go through the pain of building a website. I know that's a huge pain in the neck. We've already done that work, and we just have a new design. It's like if you went to the gym and you got in really good shape, and then you're going to get a new set of clothes. You don't have to go back to the old flabby body. You want to keep your physique and press on. I'd like the logo up on top and the header. Yeah, so this, I think that has to be done on a custom basis. So that was probably worked into that theme. There is a way to do it on these stock themes. I'd have to grab somebody from dev. I can't remember off the top of my head. More vibrant pictures below. So these pictures you can update. So if you don't like the way these look, and I would highly recommend it, all of our clients take as much custom photography as possible. Down here, this image to display on the main service page, we can pick a photo, and this is going to be kind of ghastly, but we'll do it anyway, and let's submit. Might get a little blown out too because I'm using a smaller picture than I should. So let's do that. I think that's what we're looking for. Oh no, that's something else. That's the main services page when you click here that I just updated. So in here, our Invisalign page. So now we've customized that. All these pictures can be customized in the way I just did. So if you've taken custom pictures, or you're using if you're on your tax credit kick, if you're using your children, if they're employees of the practice and use them as stock photography models, you can implement them here too. Let me go back to that service, see if we can't update this one more time and get this one working. Yes, banner image. This is what I wanted. So this one we'll do the before teeth. Again, just please excuse the quality of the picture since I'm using one that's a little too small. We usually want a nice big picture. So, okay, this looks right. So yeah, we'll try to get the hair out of there. Hit save. And there we go. So it's not the prettiest thing to look at, but you can customize all these pictures. And if you'd like to go through this on your own site, just contact support and we'll be happy to share your screen with you and go through this on a one-on-one basis and teach you how to do everything I've done and give you the recording too so you can view it at your leisure if you forget. For everything on your site, we have free and unlimited training. So if you'd like more one-on-one instruction for this, schedule a time with one of our account managers and go through all this with you. It's for free. There's no charge. We never charge for any training. Any other questions from, oh, good. Yeah, please reach out, get that scheduled. Any other questions from Nirmal or any of the other clients or non-clients around the call? Anything else I can answer for you guys, or any other feedback or things that you'd like to see? Have we seen a new before and after gallery style out there in another dentist site that we should add to the platform? Are there any other third-party tools that we should integrate with that we haven't already? I know we integrate with a lot of review sites, forms, online booking software. Anything else that's you guys would like us to integrate with that you've started using or your patients want? Okay. Well, that might be our only questions. Give you guys another few seconds to type something out. Otherwise, I'll end the meeting. Thanks for tuning in again. If you want to reach support, just go to greatdentalwebsites.com, fill out the contact form, or you can fill out, I think it's support@greatdentalwebsites.com. My email, if you want to reach me directly, is just jeff@greatdentalwebsites.com. If you have any feedback, positive, negative ideas, love to hear it. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. There's another one of these at 5:30 Mountain Standard Time. I'll try to do these more frequently too in the new year. As we release new features, I'll try to focus on them. Thanks a lot and have a great day.